With the introduction of the new diesel trains, certain modified rules and regulations have had to be introduced. Some of these rules, together with the procedure for coupling and uncoupling these trains, will be illustrated in this film. If either of two diesel trains to be coupled is carrying passengers, the moving train must be driven and not propelled onto the stationary one. A member of the station staff, or the guard, must always stand as marker, not less than 6 feet behind the stationary train. As the train approaches, it must stop level with him and then proceed only after he has given permission, which must not be given if passengers are about to enter or leave either train. The driver of the second train must immediately stop the engines, completely destroy the vacuum in reservoir and train pipe, and turn off the control circuit switch. In the cab of the first train, the Met Camel, this has already been done, and the handbrake has been applied. Not more than one tail lamp may be carried on the train, so this one must be removed and put in the brake compartment before the guard goes off duty. The driver, who will take the train on, should satisfy himself that the coupling up is carried out satisfactorily. The shunter, working systematically, disconnects the air pipe screw coupling and vacuum pipes along the end of one train, and then does the same on the other train. Now the screw coupling must be connected and then correctly tightened. Next, the air pipes are connected. And the cocks for the compressed air system on each train turned on. The vacuum brakes are connected next. The mountings and ends of the pipes are painted to avoid confusion when coupling. Black denotes train pipe and blue the high vacuum side. Small locking pins are provided to ensure safe connections. The pipes are connected, crossed like this under the screw coupling. The shunter is now ready for the jumper cables. 2 of these are kept in each cab, in a cupboard by the door in the Derby Lightweight, and in a small cupboard behind the driving seat in the Met Camel train. Permanently mounted jumper cables with dummy couplings is a modification gradually being introduced. These jumper cables carry the electrical control circuits between the 2 trains. On each side of each train, there are 2 connector boxes mounted side by side to receive the sockets on the ends of the jumper cables. Care must be taken to keep the contacts dry and free from dirt and damage. The cables are fitted parallel to each other, but it is difficult to connect them wrongly because the casing of the sockets and plugs are molded differently. There is a male and female molding provided, as you can see here. It is essential that the cables are pushed home properly and that all 8 safety clips are firmly secured. Up to 4 2-car sets with a maximum of 8 engines may be coupled together, and the procedure in each case is the same as you have just seen. In the cab of the second train, the brake handle reversing lever, and control circuit key are put into the satchel and both cab doors locked by the driver going off. He should take his satchel with him. The driver and guard of the complete train must now walk to the rear. The guard check on his tail lamp, and the driver to reset the destination indicator. He must ensure both these cab doors are locked when he leaves. Returning to the leading cab, he switches on the control circuit key, starts all 4 engines, and recreates the vacuum. It is now necessary for the guard and driver to test the vacuum brake. The guard must check that a reading of 21 inches is registered on the gauge in his compartment. This will show that the vacuum pipes have been properly connected and that there is no blockage or fault in the coupling. On receiving 7 buzzes, the driver applies the vacuum brake again and releases the handbrake. The train is now ready to move. The guard gives the driver 2 buzzes and the train leaves. We catch up the train again at the point where the 2 parts will be uncoupled. The uncoupling procedure is very much the same, except that everything is carried out in the opposite order. In the leading cab, the engines are stopped, vacuum destroyed, and the control circuit switched off. The shunter begins to disconnect the jumper cables, and the driver has to apply the handbrake in the leading cab of the second train. The first 2 cables will be put into this cab. While the uncoupling continues, another driver comes on duty to take charge of the second train. He will put this pair of cables into the other cab. Both vacuum pipes are uncoupled, the compressed air system cocks turned off, and the air pipes disconnected. Lastly, the screw coupling is unhooked and fixed on its anchorage. On the rear of the first train, the air pipe is secured, and then the 2 vacuum pipes fixed firmly on their dummy couplings. The same procedure is followed on the front of the second train.